So the reason for choosing St James's Park, and particularly one of the kiosks, is because during the summer lots of people are going to use them, which is fine, okay, that's okay, and people are going to do it, but actually this is probably one of the most, well, it's probably one of the most picturesque ones, especially with the lake behind, because with the lake behind, that's just going to really add to the beauty of sitting here. And also I found these tables around the back of the kiosk that no one else had found, because everyone else had gone to sort of, there's a garden by the side of it, which is fine, but they were sitting on each other's laps. So I had these tables to myself, well, for a little time anyway, until some other people came and joined. But what's the coffee like? That's the question. Now, I went and I had coffee, where was it? That's right, it was at Regent's Park by the Queen Mary Rose Garden. Had coffee there in the outside, and that was, well, that blew me away because I wasn't expecting the coffee to be as good, and it was good. I think it was in the 20s. So the question is, what are these kiosks like, and is it worth having a coffee here, or is it worth getting a coffee somewhere else and bringing it in, if it's local, of course. There's plenty of places around St James's Park, you've got Buckingham Palace Road, you've got Victoria, etc. So you've got plenty of places where you can grab a coffee and then bring it down without any problem. But the question is it worth it here? Now, I had a look at the food, which are cakes or waffles, and I must admit, that's why there is no eating today. It is purely just a coffee, so we shall see how the coffee goes. Now, the coffee is really hot, but St James's Park itself is definitely one of those parks that you want to come down to. Fantastic, steeped in history, beautiful colours, really is. It's an absolute gorgeous place to come down, whether you're on your own or you're with family or you're coming from overseas and you want to come and have a walk, because at one end you've got Westminster, at the other end you've got Buckingham Palace, you've got an amazing lake in the middle with views going across here as well. So it really is a place to come anyway. But the question is, with all the wildlife and all the beauty, is the coffee worth it? That is the $100 million question. But you can you see, so it's all still steaming. It's a very hot coffee, so we'll be back in a couple of seconds. I thought it would cool down by now, but it hasn't. There you go, and even the birds agree. Oh, actually, that's one thing you do need to be really aware of. If you are getting food here, do not leave it unattended. The volume of birds in here watching me, I feel like I'm under scrutiny. They're waiting just for me to move, just in case I've got any food, which I haven't, to disappoint them. But if you have got food, it's going to be gone in seconds as soon as your back's turned. I don't think he sounds very happy either, do you? Right, we're now going back for asbestos tongue time because I think the coffee has cooled down enough, but it's now starting to get busier in here. So for the chance for volume to be able to talk without having loads of other talking in the background, I thought, do you know what? We better get on and do it. All I can say is, do you recognise that thing on my face? Recognise that thing? It's sunshine. It's beautiful. It is a lovely day here in St James's Park. And hopefully that'll replicate the next 6 months here. It would be rather lovely, wouldn't it? Maybe we'll come back at the end of September. Anyway, right, let's go for the coffee. So let's go for the smell first. Oh yeah. Right, so with that, I'm getting a chestnutty smell. Okay, so I'm getting a chestnutty smell with the coffee. I can smell a bit of berries in there as well, which is good. Having to work a bit for it, and the film that was on the coffee originally, which you saw when we opened it up, has now sort of gone. So there you go. Actually, we could do it out of order. How about that? Being reckless. Yeah, there's a bit of clinging on, not overly. It's coming down really, really quickly, so it also gives you an idea for the body of it. That gets a 3. The aroma, it's a mixture of stuff. It's a mixture of that sort of sweet chestnut, but also with the berries mixed in there as well. But it doesn't come at you, because I've been sitting here seeing if the aroma reaches me, and with a really good coffee, to be quite honest, you just like that, and you can smell it quite nicely. With this, you're having to get really down and close and personal to it to get that. So, despite the fact it's a nice smell, I'm going to give that a 3 as well. Okay, so we're on the 3s. Next bit comes the acidity and the sweetness. Now I'm expecting a bit of sweetness on that because that sort of sweetness of the chestnuts that I can smell. So let's go for that. Now that's interesting because I was expecting a bit more than that, to be quite honest. I was definitely expecting a bit more. I'm going to go for it again because it's a bit strange. Yeah. Now with that, I'm getting the chestnuts in it. Definitely getting the chestnut taste, but for the acidity itself, it's sort of there, but it's a really weird coffee. I know I've had one of these before, these weird coffees before. It's hard to put your finger on it. Acidity wise, it's still there, and it's hanging on. When I say it's hanging on, it's okay, but it's not smooth. It's quite rough. Let's go for it again. Right. Do you know what? Let's do with the sweetness first. I'm going to come back for the acidity. Sweetness-wise, there isn't much there. I was expecting a lot more, so they get a 2 because I was expecting the sweetness to be a lot greater than that from the initial aroma of it. Acidity-wise, yeah, it's still coating the tongue and it's still there, but it's a really strange one because I can't say it's fantastic and it's a pleasurable coating, but also it's not a disaster. It's right down the middle of the road. Although I've got a funny feeling if that's still on my tongue a little bit later, it's going to get annoying and I'm going to need a mint to take it away. So I think by virtue of that, that's going to sit with a 3 for me on that one. Really weird one, this one, isn't it? Eh? God. For you coffee aficionados out there, it's definitely very, very strange. Anyway, right. Yeah, the birds sort of agree with that as well. So 333. And sorry, a 2, didn't we? And then a 3 because we've done the body already. The finish, now this is the bit that puzzles me because if that's going to be long, if that's going to have longevity, that's going to taste horrible and I'm certainly going to need to have something to eat to take that down. So let's go for it again. I must admit, for surroundings, this place is fantastic and you can hear the birds going absolutely bonkers, which is lovely because you feel like you're out with nature, you're in the centre of London in a lovely bit of green space. So as far as the place goes, it's fantastic. And can you hear that? Over the birds? That is Big Ben chiming midday. So we should hear the bongs very shortly. But yeah, midday. So you've got everything around you. So it's a wonderful place to be in central London. So venue-wise, it scores maximum because you're right in the middle of it all and you're sitting out with nature. It's lovely. But the coffee and the finish, yeah, let's go for a bong. There you go. Do you hear the bong? Hopefully just about pick that up. Certainly bonging away for 12. So, yeah. The finish is a bit peculiar. Yeah. Very peculiar. I think for me, the finish is going to be one of those where, again, it's a sort of a 3. But if it's one of those that we have to sort of track down later because it stays on the tongue and I need a mint or something else to cover it, then it's certainly going to be quite a painful coffee, but we'll go for the 3. So that gives us 15, that would be. So it's 14. So it's a bit of a myrrh coffee. So anything 20 and above is a fantastic coffee. 15 to 20 is still not bad. Anything below that is a bit of a myrrh. So in recommendation, probably go for a cold drink and go for a decent coffee somewhere else. And one of the other places we're going to have to try at some point is Victoria, because Victoria is around the corner. And we'll have to go and find a decent coffee place over there that we can recommend and then chuck it at the end of this video at some point. But anyway, that is St James's Park. They are the little kiosks here at St James's Park. One of the kiosks that we did try, which is the other side, it's on the Albert Embankment over near Lambeth Bridge, was a little coffee shop over there, which was out of could only be described as sort of a Porto cabin, and it was absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to put that video in the top right hand corner. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you very soon. And don't forget, if you're coming to London and you want to meet up and do a coffee tasting with me, just let us know in the comments, and look forward to hopefully catching up with you with a coffee very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.